It has been life-changing for me. I have found ways to use this app that I've never heard anyone talk about that make me so much more money, make me so productive, make my life easier, make my life better in truly every way. Best $20 a month I have ever spent. Hi guys, welcome back to Step by Step with me, Shelby Church, the podcast where we talk about living a better life holistically, making more money, feeling more fulfilled, connecting with people more, all of that. And a big part of it, a big life upgrade for me this last year was embracing ChatGPT and finding the best ways to use it. It has been life-changing for me. I have found ways to use this app that I've never heard anyone talk about that make me so much more money, make me so productive, make my life easier, make my life better in truly every way. I'm talking it's made my friendships better even, and you're probably like, how? I'll explain. If you're not using ChatGPT, you're falling behind. And I'm gonna show you all my uses for it. And I will talk at the end about, the overall societal impacts and my thoughts on that, because I know a lot of people get afraid that AI is taking our jobs. And whether we like it or not, it's happening fast. And it's better to get ahead of it than behind it. But I don't think you need to be as worried as you might be. And I'll talk about that at the end. First, I want to get into all my gate-kept secrets about how I use ChatGPT and other apps, but mostly ChatGPT, because that is the one that I use the most. And what I've found is I meet people and I like to ask people if they're using it. And what I found is either yes, they use it every day, 50 times a day, like so much, like me. Like I use it. It's my new Google. I don't really use Google as much anymore. And, they're obsessed that every question they go to ChatGPT, they use it for all kinds of different things that you probably don't even know you can use it for. Or they used it one time to write an email and they're like, it's not quite what I wanted. And they don't really touch it after that. I know a lot of people like that too. And I know everyone says it's about how you prompt it. And honestly, it's very true, but it can do a lot more than just write an email for you. I do use it to write emails, best believe pretty much any email you're getting from me, ChatGPT probably wrote it. I'm not kidding. It just knows my writing style now, where when I put something in for it to respond to, it's basically how I would write it. And I'll kind of tell you how I trained it to do that. I feel like ChatGPT, it's literally my second brain in a way, and it does remember things. It knows a lot about me. If I asked it to make a profile about me, it would know a lot about me. I know that might be scary to some people, but it is just so incredibly useful that I kind of don't care. Let's get into it, the ways that I use it that you've probably never heard of. So obviously the first one I'll just go over because I know everyone kind of knows this is for writing emails and things like that. This is the thing if you're having it write an email for you or write anything for you, because you can get Instagram caption ideas. I'll use it for proposals, for different ideas for things. You have to give it inspiration of your writing style. So what you need to do is screenshot emails that you've sent, or if you want it to write an Instagram caption, screenshot captions that you've done, or just the whole page so it can see the photo too. At least 3, but maybe 3 to 5 is good. Do that before you have it write an email for you, because it needs to know your style, or else it's going to be very generic and very ChatGPT sounding. And if it does come out too ChatGPT sounding, I will just tell it that. I'll be like, this sounds too much like AI. Can you make it more normal? Can you make it sound more casual? And it sounds that is how you get it to write in your style. I've gotten it to write Instagram captions that they don't look like the stereotypical ChatGPT thing. Now, I'll be real, I just write my own Instagram captions because I just come up with stuff, and so I don't really use it for that. I have been really stuck on something before and used it a couple times to help me come up with an idea when I was I just don't know what to caption it. But for the most part, I look at a photo, I know what I want to caption it. But if you have trouble with that, you can totally use it for that. But yeah, that's the key with emails, is screenshotting it. So the second level of this, you can have it fill out forms for you. I bet you didn't know this. So you can have a PDF upload it. You can, if it kind of remembers a lot of things about me, there are some things I don't tell it. It doesn't know my social security number, for example. It doesn't know like my bank account numbers. Like I wouldn't put that in. It doesn't even know my address. I wouldn't put that in either. But say it needs some basic information to fill out a form. What I do also, this is kind of a side note, but I use voice to text for everything. Diction, I believe it's called. So I have a shortcut on my laptop where I just hit command twice and then I start talking because it's a lot faster than typing. So that's just another little pro tip. If you're not doing that, it's way easier than typing. It's just simple, and if it makes mistakes, it doesn't matter. Like if it says a word wrong, ChatGPT will know. If it spells something wrong, it really doesn't matter. You don't have to correct it. Like ChatGPT will know. Like very rarely does it get confused and you can fix it. But yeah, basically what you can do is upload this PDF. If it remembers a lot of things about you, you could just say like, fill out this form, and it will fill it out and you can re-download it as a PDF. Kind of crazy, right? So it could be, say you need to send a proposal and they want it to be on this specific form. You can download that form, upload it to ChatGPT. You can even give it some ideas of what you want and tell it to write it in and then download it. So that's a pretty cool use for it that I think a lot of people don't know about. Another one that I recently discovered and has been a game changer for me is it can create photo mock-ups that are really good, you guys. Like, have you noticed I have a new podcast photo, a new cover art? Well, I was going to shoot this and I had an idea. I was like, okay, what do I want it to be? I don't know exactly the vision. I think I want it to be like me walking with headphones on. And I just described what I wanted and I asked ChatGPT to make a mock-up, and I wasn't sure if it would be any good. This is what it came up with. Okay, if you're watching the video, look at that. Look at that. Like, that's crazy. I saw that and was like, yeah, that's what I want it to look like. Like, that's perfect. And going into the shoot, it was very helpful to have this because I could show it to my photographer and be like, this is the shot that we're going for. Like, this is how I want it to look. And of course, if it doesn't get it quite right on the first try, you can just create more mock-ups. Like, if you just have an idea for something you maybe would want to try, you can do that. You can even have it go rogue and be like, what do you think? Like, create a random mock-up that you think would look cool. Again, for this, I went and I looked on Spotify at podcast cover arts. I screenshotted some that I liked and I was like, what are the elements of these that are the same throughout? Like, why do I like these ones? What should I try and carry into this? So it's very helpful for creating mock-ups, kind of storyboarding, if you're going to shoot video or photos. Yeah, it's actually crazy. Like, I've been loving using that. I've been using it actually when I work with a brand. Sometimes they'll want a proposal, so I can create a mood board. I can be like, this is kind of what the shots are going to look like. And I think that they really like that. And I really like it because when I go into shoots, it's just really hard to go in blind and not know at all. It makes it a little more daunting the day of. But when I have these mock-ups, it gets me so excited to shoot. I'm like, oh, I know exactly what I'm trying to get. I know I can get it. I know like how I want the lighting to look. It's incredible. So give that a try. Another one on that section is I use it for creating renovation mockups. So as I mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned on the podcast, but I got into contract on a townhouse that I'm buying, a condo that I'm buying in LA. It's like a condo, townhouse, whatever, like same thing, right? A 2-story condo. So like to me, it's a townhouse. I just call it a townhouse because it's a 2-story condo, but maybe other people would just be like, that's a condo. So I wasn't sure if this would be possible, but this is one of the things that not a lot of people know that ChatGPT can do. Like, I tell people all the time and they're like, wait, really? It can do that? And I'm like, yeah. So basically, what I do is I create renovation mockups with ChatGPT. This is how you do it though, because if you just upload a photo of your space and say, make it more modern, it's not going to do a great job. It's going to be like not what you want, most likely. I mean, you could try it. It might do well, but probably not. What you have to do is upload a photo of your space. Say, this is my living room, for example. I'm going to send you some inspiration photos. Go to Pinterest, screenshot kind of what you like, upload the inspiration photos and say, I want you to renovate my living room to look like this. Like the inspiration photos. Sometimes you need to also say, like, keep the camera angle the same. Don't change the perspective of the photo because occasionally it will mess this up. it's kind of hit or miss. Like sometimes it will just not work as well, but I'll include some examples because it's helping me plan this renovation. Like it is helping me visualize how I want it to look. And you best believe I'm going to be giving these mock-ups to my contractors and they're going to be like, oh, got it. This would have been so helpful when I did the Palm Springs renovation. Although I did use Fiverr for a lot of that, and I still think Fiverr though would be useful if you need exact dimensions. This is good if you're not really sure if you're gonna like how that tile looks, so maybe you don't want to pay for a Fiverr rendering yet, but you just want to see like roughly what it will look like, or if you're just like redecorating your room, you can screenshot photos of the actual products from the website. I did this when I talked about article in a vlog recently, and people are like, what app did you use to do that? I'm like, ChatGPT, literally ChatGPT. Like I didn't pay for some virtual staging website. I didn't do anything like that. It's just ChatGPT. And I do pay for the $20 a month version, but I don't know if you really need that to do this. Even if you do, best $20 a month I have ever spent because it saves me money, it makes me money, it makes me 10 times more efficient. But anyway, I'll include some examples of how I've done this. I have a friend who's renovating her house and I taught her how to do it and she's already using it to visualize what she wants. It can just really help you decide what you want a space to look like. Like I would never renovate something or even buy a furniture piece without doing this now because sometimes things look different when you get it in person. And one thing I haven't tried yet, but I'm going to play around with, I'm going to upload the floor plan, like the dimensions, and then I'm going to also give it the product dimensions. And I'm going to see if it can accurately show what it would look like in the space in terms of sizing. I'm not sure if it can do that yet, but I'll report back. But again, I still think there is a use case for Fiverr because maybe you just want a professional designer to like design it for you, right? Like this is just if you think you're good at design and you want to see what it looks like. But I do think there are some people who like, they just don't know design well. And so they might still want to get a designer. But yeah, if you're like, oh, let me see if this like purple rug would look cool, I don't want to commit to it yet. Try it like that first. Try it for something you're like not sure if it's going to look good. So it's crazy. This has like been my favorite use for it. Like I'm obsessed. I'm always making mock-ups. It's really fun. Okay, next thing is financial modeling, running analysis on real estate, comps, things like that. So I feel like a lot of people don't know this, but again, this is something I kind of discovered while I was making the offer for this townhouse. And if you're kind of wanting to see if something is a good investment, you can use ChatGPT to run the numbers. So what I did when I was making an offer on this townhouse is I screenshotted the listing, showed it to ChatGPT. ChatGPT looks at the photos. It knows that it's a fixer. It's like, oh yeah, it's dated. This is the price per square foot. This is what it's near. It's taking note of all of those things. Then I'll go in and look at the comps that have sold and I'll upload that. And it can also identify by the photos if it's renovated, if it's more modern, how much more it should cost because of that, because of those upgrades. So it's really helpful in terms of figuring out like what you might want to make an offer or what you're realistically going to get something for or sell something for. But to take it a step further, you can also upload the sales data. So if you want to see if you're going to get a good return on your investment versus putting your money in the stock market, this is really helpful. So say a property sold like 5 years ago for $500,000 and then 5 years later it sold for $600,000. You can just screenshot that info, put it in and say, give me the yearly cash on cash return or the percentage increase each year and compare it to what the S&P 500 got in the last 10 years, for example. And you can even kind of customize this and be like, okay, if I put 20% down, what would have been a better investment? Calculate in the tax benefits of owning. Calculate in that you can write off the interest. Like it can really help you determine if something is a good investment. And you can even ask it if you don't know a lot about real estate or finance, you can be like, what are the tax benefits that I don't know about? Like, what are all those things? It's not a CPA, but it can give you like overall info. Of course, when you're really going in to like do your taxes, use a CPA. But like just for roughly figuring out how these things work, it's a very good teacher. I will say that. And it's taught me a lot. But it's super useful in just running the numbers. And then when you go in to make an offer, to make a purchase, you will have such peace about it. That's what I found because I'm not going in blind. Like, I know what the risks are here. I know based on historical data what is likely to happen. Yes, I know crazy things can happen. Markets can crash, all of these things. And even that, I'll ask ChatGPT about it. And like, we'll go over like if there's a likelihood of that happening and like what to do and, but it will just really make you feel a lot better about an investment that you're making. Again, it's not a financial advisor. And so like, this isn't financial advice. It's not, and it will tell you sometimes like, get a CPA, like, that kind of thing. But if you are just sort of in the beginning stages of researching this stuff, it can be really helpful. So yeah, I really like it for that. So the next use case that I use it for a lot is editing help. So I run into little troubleshooting things all the time because I feel like the editing I do in my main channel videos is getting more and more advanced. And like over the years, like, I don't know, that's just something that I like to do is like make my editing cool. But I run into all these things that confuse me. I use DaVinci Resolve. And now I just ask ChatGPT. If I run into an issue, it knows how to solve it. And occasionally it won't be up to date. Like it'll tell me to do something and I'll say, oh, I don't see that. Like it'll be like, go into file and then you'll see view and then you'll see workspace, but I won't see workspace. I'll be like, I don't see workspace. It will just give you a workaround. In the past, I would watch YouTube videos, tutorials, but they took so much longer. They were kind of frustrating. You have to watch all this fluff to get to what you want. Sometimes the tutorial is not even addressing really what you're looking for. But so with ChatGPT, it's like you can screenshot things, you can circle things and be like, how do I do this? That is a pretty cool use case that I use a lot. So you can do this for any software though. It doesn't have to be a video editing software. If you're trying to learn how to use the software, ask ChatGPT for help, like whenever you get stuck, because it basically has the manual of everything ever that exists uploaded. Like even when I got my sewing machine recently, I asked it for help with that. Very useful, very helpful. Just any sort of troubleshooting you have to do, that's my go-to. Okay, next thing is a little different, but I use it for cooking help a lot. So, I mean, I get recipes online, right? But I'll have all these like random questions that I feel like I just don't know if I'm going to get the answer online. Like I feel like I would end up in a Reddit forum and I just wouldn't feel good about the answer. For example, yesterday my power went out for 3 hours and I had this salmon that I was thawing in the fridge. It was like in the freezer, thawing in the fridge. This is something I would ask ChatGPT. It's the next day. Is it okay to eat it? Because it was thawing for 3 hours. It gives pretty good answers for this kind of thing. And it will be really honest with you. Like it'll be like, yeah, you might want to throw that out. Or it'll be like, no, that should be fine based on food safety guidelines. So just any time that I'm cooking, I mean, I'm just not the most experienced chef. I love to cook, but I haven't made everything in the world, I'm making a lot of new things. And this is when I'll use the voice feature. You know how you can like talk to ChatGPT? Like I'll show you. Hey, ChatGPT, can you just say hello and just say hello to my podcast step by step?
Welcome to Step by Step. Excited to be here.
So I put this salmon in the fridge yesterday. It was in the freezer. I put it in the fridge in the morning and then the power went out for like 3 hours and then it came back on, but I still left it in the fridge overnight. Is it still okay to eat today, do you think?
If the salmon stayed cool and didn't get warmer than 40 degrees Fahrenheit, about 4°C, it should be fine. If it was still cold to the touch when the power came back on, it's likely safe. But if it warmed up, it's better to be cautious.
Okay, but this is the thing is I don't know because I wasn't home when the power came back on. So what should I do? Like, should I toss it, do you think?
If you're not sure how warm it got, it's best to be safe and toss it.
Yeah. See, that's how I use it for cooking. Just I have all these questions that they're not so simple to Google because I'll be like, wait, but what about this? But I did this. So if you have questions like that, ChatGPT. Okay. Quick break to thank ZBiotics for sponsoring today's episode. If you guys haven't heard of ZBiotics, it's really cool. It's a pre-alcohol probiotic drink, and it's actually the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by some PhD scientists to help with those rough mornings after drinking. How it works: when you drink, alcohol gets converted into an unwanted byproduct in your gut, and it's that byproduct actually, not dehydration a lot of the time. That's usually to blame for not feeling your best the next day. ZBiotics is designed to produce an enzyme that breaks that byproduct down, which is what helps you
you feel more like yourself the next day. So this is how I use it. I drink it as like a pre-alcohol drink, and it's my first drink of the night. I feel like that's going to get you the best results. Then just pace yourself, as you're drinking, still hydrate, still get a good night's sleep. I think that's still important to get like good sleep. And then the next day I can be up early editing, playing tennis, whatever I've got planned. So it can make a big difference. And I mean, spring is here. So that means weddings, weekend trips. Don't forget your ZBiotics. If you want to try it, you can go to zbiotics.com/Shelby to get 15% off your first order when you use the code Shelby at checkout. They even offer a 100% money back guarantee. So there's nothing to lose. If you're watching the video, here's what it looks like. Here's one that I have. You don't have to drink like this huge drink. It's like literally the size of like a little shot, which I think is nice. It's like convenient. You can throw it in your bag, take it with you. So yeah, thanks to ZBiotics for sponsoring this episode. Now let's get back into the episode.
All right. The next one, ChatGPT therapy. Oh my God, you guys, ChatGPT, it gives the best advice and it is so validating. And this might be a hot take, but I truly think it is better than a lot of therapists out there. Because as I'm sure most people know, like there are good therapists and there are bad ones. And I feel like I've had both in my lifetime. I haven't done a lot of therapy, transparently. I think I've really only like a couple times, and it was like a few months at a time, just when I was going through a rough time. And the first time I had a great therapist, helped a ton. The second time, no. This lady just made me feel so judged, and it wasn't helpful. Yeah, it was through my health insurance, so it was like really like cheap. Oh, and I've done BetterHelp too. I actually had a good experience with that, but I didn't use it for super long. Like I did like 3 sessions just to help me like make a decision on something. But anyway, I know people have like thoughts on that, but whatever, like whatever platform you're using your health insurance, there's going to be good and bad ones. BetterHelp, of course, there's going to be good and bad ones. Like that's just how these things work. So ChatGPT though, when you think about it, it is aggregating all this information. You can tell it about whatever issue that you are having, and it will give you such a validating response. Like it will acknowledge your pain or whatever you're feeling. And it has just opened my mind and it's helped me reframe things. It truly has. Like it has really helped my mindset a lot. And what I'll do sometimes, like if something is bothering me, I will do the voice thing again because I don't really like typing, as you guys know. So I'll do that. I'll go on a walk and I'll tell it my frustrations or whatever's going on. And then I'll listen to what it says while I'm on the walk. I don't like to read as much as I like to like listen to it. And it just knows what to say. It just has the words. It's crazy, you guys. Like sometimes if you just need it to listen and to like give you some support, but other times like you may need actual advice, like concrete things of what to say. Like if I'm like, I don't know what to say to this person, it can help give me some ideas. And sometimes I'm like, I don't know, I feel like I wouldn't really say that. I wouldn't say it like that. And it'll give me ideas on like ways that are more me. I feel like it just helps me convey what I want to convey when I sometimes can't find the words to, or am kind of intimidated to or nervous to. And like it can help you if you need to have a hard conversation. You can do a little like practice run. I know that's kind of weird, but like it's really helpful. So yeah, and it's actually so cool that this is a thing because therapy is expensive. And like, I mean, I feel like so many of the people struggling are younger and can't afford it. It's not like a full substitute. I know, okay, disclaimer, it's not therapy. It's not like a full substitute. I know I have to say that, but my real honest thoughts, it's really good. It's really good. Yeah, so it'll just help you with clarity on anything. Like even after I got the townhouse offer accepted, I was like, oh my God, why do I feel nervous? Like I talked to like my friends, my parents about it, but I also talked to ChatGPT because like, sorry, but ChatGPT, it just knows the words that sometimes my friends or family just don't know. Because when you think about it, your friends and family, they always have this clouded view of what they think you should do, right? Or like sometimes people may feel, I don't know, if they're like jealous of you or something like that. Not saying that my friends or family are. Not saying that. But I'm just saying like a random example. If someone's jealous of you and you're asking for advice on something, they're not going to give you good advice. Okay? Like people, like their judgment is clouded because they'll be projecting something else is what I'm saying pretty much. But ChatGPT won't do that. And so it's good to, of course, talk to your friends and family. But sometimes ChatGPT is giving me the best advice out of anyone. Like seriously, it's crazy. So yeah, I did feel nervous after the offer got accepted because it is a little nerve-wracking anytime, you're getting into a, it's a big decision. That's why it's kind of what we came to. It's not a decision that you make every day, but it did help me feel good about the fact that it's like, hello, I did not make this decision on a whim. I've been thinking about this for years. I've been researching this area it helped me go over. It was like, you're financially okay. Like, it's gonna be fine. Like, if you run into issues, like, this is what we can do. We, as in like me and chat, we're in this together. So yeah, it's really helpful. It's like, yes, it helped me like figure out the offer side of things and like the strategic side, but it helped with the emotional side too. I'm not gonna lie, because it's like, oh my gosh, like, it's nerve wracking. It's a fixer. What if we find this? It's helping me budget too. So that's another thing. It can make spreadsheets. I already made a full budget for the renovation. I made the mock-ups. I made all of it with ChatGPT quickly. And the best part, it makes it really fun. Like, think about making a spreadsheet when you have to do it all manually. It is so boring. It's really tedious and annoying. But when you have ChatGPT do it for you, it takes away most of the legwork, and then it's just kind of fun because you get to see how things play out, and then you can mess with the numbers and be like, okay, but what if this happens? You know, like, what if there's like an unexpected cost? What if we open a wall and we find this? So yeah, it's kind of fun in that way. Another use, just organizing things on my computer. So something that brands always want is they'll want screenshots of how something did. They'll want to see the analytics, or they might want to see the analytics of like my viewers. They'll be like, oh, like, what is the age and location? And they'll want a bunch of different screenshots, right? Like, I'll screenshot like 10 different things. And I just don't want to send them the file that just says screenshot, blah, 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 because it'll be confusing for them. Because sometimes you can't tell, like, if it's Instagram or what. And so I'll upload them all to ChatGPT and I'll say, can you rename these files appropriately? And sometimes I'll say, can you combine some of them into a PDF, which you can just do on your Mac under quick actions. But I like it for renaming files quickly. I know that's like a small thing, but it's a task that I just find really annoying that I don't really do anymore, because I'll be like, just rename it based on what is in the document. Like, it's smart. It will figure it out. Like, if it is showing age demographics, it will like know. But other organizational things, when I'm planning out a video, oh my God, I am not organized, like, generally. Like, before ChatGPT, I just do like a brain dump. I write all my ideas. So I'll be like, shot ideas, voiceover. And then I'll look back and I'll be like, this is so confusing. Like, I'll be shooting, looking at it and be like, what was I thinking? So I'll do the brain dump. I'll do all my shot ideas. And then I'll upload it to ChatGPT and be like, can you format this better? Can you put the B-roll shots together and make kind of like a schedule of like similar shots and when I should shoot them so I'm efficient? And it will just make everything look kind of nice. Like, if you're watching the YouTube video, I'll overlay an example of this. And a step further, you can be like, what other shots should I do? What are other aspects of this video that I'm not considering? Like, what are other angles? What would make this better? What would make it more interesting? What are other shoot locations? Like, I will just kind of ask it for feedback. Like, I'm still coming up with the ideas. It's helping me brainstorm. I'm curating. And that's kind of what the future of things I think is going to be, is like, we're curating. We're not doing as much of the tedious, annoying stuff, but we are picking and choosing and reordering a little bit here and there and telling it what to do and what we like and what works and makes sense. And so it's very helpful for that kind of thing. So if you have to plan things, documents, I mean, shoot, I'll probably make this for Monica's bachelorette trip. I'll just be like, this is all the things we're thinking. Because it's just a lot nicer when, if you're writing something, you can be messy and fast. And then you just let ChatGPT fix it and make it more organized. So I do that a lot. It's really helpful. And I used to like pay for Notion AI. I think it was like $200 a year. And then I was like, why am I doing this? It's literally just put it into ChatGPT and then copy and paste it back. Like, a lot of these AI tools that are separate websites that you pay for, like, I don't know, probably the virtual staging websites. I mean, I'm sure they're useful. So I'm sure some of them are better, but a lot of them, you can just do it in ChatGPT. Like, you don't need to pay an extra $20 a month. Like, try it in ChatGPT first. Some of them, they may have trained it better, so it can be useful. But yeah, even this video, I think I'm going to upload this weekend. It's about the parks in LA and how we got Griffith Park. I really wanted a photo of Walt Disney sitting at this carousel. And I couldn't really find one online, and so I just told ChatGPT to make it. I'll include it here if I remember. And I mean, it looks really good. And then I used another service called Runway ML to animate it. And so the animated version, because ChatGPT, I tried to get it to animate, and it was like really shitty. Like, I was like, what? It's not there yet. Soon. I'm sure it'll get some updates and get better at that. But I haven't really played around with Sora a lot, so I need to do that. But yeah, I used Runway ML, and that's how I got the animated shot. Now it doesn't look like totally real, like you can tell it's AI, but it helped get that visual for the video that I wanted that makes it just more fun to watch, more interesting. So it's really good for that. Now, okay, this is another AI tool. I haven't used it in ChatGPT, but I do think they have a way to do this now. But I have done the voice cloning stuff. I did it for one video, but I prefer to do my own voiceovers because it just weirds me out a little bit. But yeah, if you didn't know, you can upload your voice, like a file of you talking, and then you can type things and it will make the voiceover for you, taking the data on your voice. But what I found is like it'll be just really monotone. Sometimes it'll mess up. For the most part, it's good. So I still like to do my own voiceovers because I just want to make it exactly like the tone, the inflection that I want. And like, I just like that, even though probably no one else notices. But there was one time where I was like kind of sick. I think it was because I was sick. And there was another time where I was on a plane. And both of these times it was like I couldn't do a voiceover. Like my voice was so messed up, I just couldn't do the voiceover. And then on the plane, it was like, of course I can't. It's way too loud. There's all these people around. So in those like situations, I did use it. Forget what program, 11 Labs, I think. But I think you can just do it in ChatGPT now. I'll play around with it after this and I'll see. Yeah, I actually uploaded a whole video where the voiceover was not me. It was generated with AI and not a single person commented. And I was almost offended. I was like, you guys think I sound like that? Like it's obviously monotone sounding, like what? But no one noticed. So yeah, you can use it for that, although I don't really that often, but if I'm in a pinch, if I really need to, it's nice to know that it's there. Another use for it, I haven't really tried this yet, but you can edit podcasts with it. So there's something called Autopod, and DaVinci also came out with a new plugin thing just in the new version of DaVinci 20, the beta, which I just got. It's really cool. It will automatically cut based on who's talking. So you know how there will be like 3 camera angles with a podcast and it will cut to who's talking each time? This goes through the sound waveforms and it will cut to who's talking. But in DaVinci, it goes a step further. It watches the video. It sees whose mouth is moving to know when the person's talking, just like to confirm. So that's going to save a ton of time. Of course, I still need someone to go through and cut out the boring parts because it doesn't really know what's boring yet. And then I still have an editor, but it'll just make things more efficient for her. Like she'll be able to do it faster and then I'll find other things for her to do, right? Like I'm still going to have an editor. I'll just be able to get like more use out of her. Like we'll both be more efficient basically. Because before I've been having Olivia edit the podcasts and I'm sure it's like more time consuming because she's manually cutting each thing. Now it'll be like, oh, it's manually cut. She can just watch it, find the interesting parts to make the little teaser in the intro, add the like music and stuff, and then cut out the boring parts or cut out times when I say like, because sometimes I'm like, I've been watching back and I'm like, wait, we need to cut out because I sound stupid. But I'm working on that, you guys. I get comments. I know. It is so hard to stop saying like when you're in conversation. It's easy when I'm doing a podcast like this for some reason. That's something that I'm going to start experimenting with. And again, I don't think it's going to fully take over the podcast editing, but it will speed it up a lot so that we can focus on other stuff like the reels cut downs or other videos. Like I'll just make more content. It'll just free up time for me to make more stuff or like have more stuff to edit or like give Olivia other tasks to do if she has time because she does other projects as well. Other tools I use is Photoshop, generative AI a lot. So let's say I shot something on my phone that's vertical and it's like a static shot, so it's not moving. And I'm like, oh, dang, I really want to use this in a horizontal YouTube video. I use generative fill sometimes, not very often, but I'll use it to generate the outside spots. Because like, for example, I'll do it when I edit this. Let's say I shot only vertical like this, and I forgot to do like this other part. What I would do is go into generative fill in Photoshop, I'd select the area and I just click generate and it will create a background that looks real. And as long as you don't move into it, because that'll cut you off. But I also have an AI tool that will like mask you and help you with all that, but it's a little more complicated. It's easier if you just don't. Or if the camera's moving, it's not going to work, obviously, because I'm sure we'll have AI tools for that eventually, but like I don't know of them right now. But yeah, for static shots, it's really helpful. Especially if you're a content creator, because YouTube's horizontal but everything else is vertical, and so it's like I'm always needing to resize things, and before it looked weird because you would do like a blur background or whatever, but now this is a cool way to have it look real. And so it's nicer for the viewer because it looks nicer. It looks nicer than if I had like black bars there. So that's a cool one that I've been using. I know you can also upscale like photos and stuff. So if you take a photo and the quality wasn't very good, I know there's like ways to upscale that. I haven't really messed with that much. Obviously for subtitles, like I'm not manually putting subtitles in. Are you kidding? Like CapCut will do that, or DaVinci will do that. So, yeah, I'm not manually doing that. You can remove the background of things. Like say you just want to, in like ChatGPT, say you don't have Photoshop, I can screenshot this, I can select myself, and then I can say like remove the background and make it a PNG so that it's a transparent background. And you can do that easily and you don't have to have Photoshop. So yeah, there's so many things. These are honestly just a few ways. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. Let me ask ChatGPT really quick. What are some of the other ways? I just said, what are some of the other ways I use it I haven't mentioned? Because it'll probably go through and be like, oh, you asked it this, like you forgot. Oh, you can have it reformat YouTube video transcripts into newsletter content. That's true. One thing I did, this was kind of, I've never heard of anyone doing this. So this townhouse I put an offer in, right? I'm doing my due diligence. I'm like, what is this community like? I stalked it. I found the meeting minutes available. I found these unlisted YouTube videos. I downloaded the transcript from YouTube because these are hour-long, annoyingly long meetings that they're having. I don't want to listen to the whole thing. So I copy and paste the transcript into ChatGPT and I'm just like, summarize it. And I learned all this stuff. I learned that like they have security, which I was like, sweet. I asked it questions. I'm like, is the HOA going to go up? All this stuff. Another one that I did when I was studying for the real estate exam, I actually would use ChatGPT to study. It's an amazing study tool. And the way that I did it was kind of strategic because I do think, everyone knows ChatGPT can make mistakes. So you do need to be careful, especially when studying. You don't want to be studying the wrong information. So what I would do is I would download the chapters because everything was online. I would upload it to ChatGPT and I would say, this is what we're pulling from. Like, this is the correct information. Like, don't find stuff online because it could be wrong. We're going with what's in this PDF. And I would say, ask me questions, like multiple choice questions relating to it. So it would ask me multiple choice questions. Then if I get one wrong, I would be like, can you explain why? And then I would be like, ask me other tricky questions based on that. Like you can just delve into a topic and really understand it. And you can be like, dumb it down for me. Like, I don't get it. Like, what do you mean? Like, say it like I'm 5 years old or something. Because sometimes it'll just be like too jargony. Like, if you're having a hard time understanding something, it's just because it's not properly like making the connections. And you can just always ask ChatGPT to like simplify it. So that helped me study for the real estate exam. I passed it on the first try. I used ChatGPT to do it. You can also use this thing. I forget what it's called, but I'll put it in the show notes. But I did this a little bit too. But you can upload a document, like a scientific journal. This was like getting really popular on TikTok. I forget what it was called though. I haven't used it since I was studying because I just don't really think it's that useful. But basically, upload something you need to study or you need to like simplify. You want to learn about a scientific journal, something confusing. You upload it to this website and it will create a podcast out of it. It's like hosted by these two fake people and it sounds super real. It's in very normal vernacular, like the talks just like us. And it makes it easy to understand things. And it's kind of fun to listen to. So you can take any complex topic and it will simplify it for you. And so whenever I was first getting into a new chapter with the real estate studying, I would do that first because gosh, it's just so boring. Like they try and make it boring, I swear, to like weed people out and confusing. But upload it to that, listen to it first. So you have some like, you can reference and be like, oh, like it just makes it more fun to study. Like not only easier to study, but more fun. And that's what I love about AI is in general, it has just made things more fun. Like it's made things easier and more fun. Like I get excited to use it. Other things you can do profit and loss statements. You can like ask it tax questions again, but consult a CPA. Also, I have played around with uploading bank statements and having it itemize deductions. Last time I tried this was a couple months ago. It wasn't perfect. It was pretty good. I'm going to play around with it more. I mean, there's different versions of ChatGPT. So I might have been using one that wasn't like really optimized for that. But I know that there are some services called like Kick and some other AI bookkeeping. They're kind of expensive though. And so I'm like, if ChatGPT can just do it, that would be cool. But these other ones are more full service because they'll like connect you with the CPA and make sure it's like all correct. So I mean, it could be worth it. I think though the future, like AI will fully take over like most people's accounting and taxes and make it easier for us. And it's going to be really cool. I've been using it to make little graphics like arrows and stuff. I'll be like, can you make an arrow PNG that looks like this? Like I'll go on Pinterest and be like, one that looks like that. And then I'll be like, could you animate it? Could you make it like draw itself in? It did it. And I'll be like, can you give this like a transparent background so I can like put it in DaVinci and then have this cool looking arrow? Because before I would have to manually do that in Procreate, and it's like really annoying. It's so cool that you can do that. I mean, sometimes I'll still make my own if I want it a specific way, but like sometimes it'll just make it nicer looking than I would have. So I'm like, you know what? Hell yeah. I've never heard of anyone doing this. I figured out how to create a custom font for me. Okay, this is crazy. And this is one I wanted to gatekeep because I was like, well, I could like make all these like custom fonts and then I could like sell them. But I'm like, you know what? I'm probably not going to do that. I don't really care. There's better things I could spend my time on, honestly. Probably. So this is how you do it. Go on Pinterest, find some cool fonts that you like, screenshot them, be like, this is my inspo. Like, this is the kind of font I want. It'll help you to like decide like, oh, I want one that looks script-like, or I want one that's like serif or sans serif. Like if you don't know what those terms mean, it'll help you identify what that is. And then you tell it like, okay, create A through Z and 0 through 10 and exclamation point, $, whatever. Create the whole like font, like show me what it will look like. And it will create this. And sometimes it'll mess up. Like it'll do like A through F and then like the rest will be lowercase. So I'll do it separately. I'll tell it first, like do A through Z all uppercase. Then I'll do A through Z lowercase. Then I'll do 0 through 10. Then I'll do special characters. Then I'll be like, can you put all these together and make a TTF file so that I can use this as a font on my computer? So cool, you guys. So I'll put a font in right here that ChatGPT created. Isn't that cool? I just think that's so crazy. And like with the parks video too, I even was like, can you just make a title card that looks nice? The key, of course, is you have to give it inspiration. If you're just like, can you make a title card? It's going to be the ugliest. No. You have to like screenshot some stuff you've done in the past or things that you think look cool. And then it will create something that actually looks good. That's really the key of using AI, is just giving it some inspo that you like. You pretty much just always have to do that. As long as you're doing that, it'll be good. Sometimes you do need to tweak things. It's not perfect every time. You should be double checking like information. Sometimes I'll even say like, are you sure that's right? Because I've caught it say some things wrong. I'm like, no, that's wrong. So you got to be careful. But you know what? I feel like some people are like, well, ChatGPT is wrong sometimes, so I'm never going to use it. Okay, well, guess what? It's right. It's correct probably 98% of the time. So me personally, I'm going to use it. And I'm just going to double check things sometimes. And I'm going to be like 10 times more productive. Let's talk about it taking over jobs and taking over the world and all of that. I do think the world right now is changing in a way that is really crazy. Like the self-driving cars, the Waymos are so good. It's expanding. AI, I mean, I didn't really see this coming before COVID. I didn't think this was all going to happen so fast, but it's happening so fast. We're getting crazy new technologies every day, it feels like. It's very exciting. And I know a lot of people are scared, like people that drive Uber, they're like, what am I going to do, you know? Oh, another thing ChatGPT can do, make you a website, HTML coding. We didn't even get into that, but that's a thing. Like if you need that, look into it. It's pretty crazy. I think people are worried about jobs. And what I have heard, there's a couple schools of thought. You know, a lot of people think it will take the jobs and then nobody will have a job, will have no purpose, whatever. Let me address that first. If it makes it so we don't have to do work, personally, I know of other ways to fill my time and feel fulfilled that don't involve working. I used to have that mindset too. It's a very like puritanical thing, I believe, where it's like you have to do work. Working hard is morally good and whatever. But what we know now is working harder like won't make you more money. It's usually working smarter. And then also working hard, it can be very fulfilling and rewarding. But also personally, I find it really fulfilling learning new skills, playing tennis, connecting with people, giving back, making things, creating things. That is like my ideal life, how I want to spend my time. Like I want to be like financially free, and then I don't want to like sit around watching Netflix and people have this idea that it's like, oh, we're all just going to be in these pods living this hedonistic lives. Like, no, I think that we will be just pursuing what we want to pursue, like learning any skill you want to learn, helping people with things, because that's very rewarding too. And it's like you don't have the capacity to help people if you're still trying to get your life together. But it's like AI, I think, can help a lot of us get to a point where it's like you have everything that you ever wanted, so you can help other people get that. Like that would probably be the more rewarding, fulfilling thing after achieving that. Having time to connect with people. I mean, there's so many like problems in the world that still need to be solved that I don't think we're even close to having nothing to work on or to do. We're just gonna be able to all quickly like make strides at it and feel really empowered to do that. If we're able to like write code easily, if you have a problem and you don't know how to solve it. Before it was like, well, I don't know how to code, so I don't know. But now if I have a problem that I think I can make an app that will solve it, I can figure that out without even knowing how to code. How exciting is that? That's like really cool. So there's that. I think that we'll find uses for our time that are better. And that's kind of what's always been the case. Like, you know, there was a time where we didn't have washing machines or dishwashers. Okay, like it's better that we have that technology. It frees up our time to do other things. Like there's always going to be something to work on. And I've also heard that as technology expands, demand also expands. So you know how there's those 3D printed houses? I made a video about those. A lot of the comments, people are worried. They're like, oh, there's going to be no construction jobs and whatever. And I mean, here's the thing. Yeah, it might take over building walls for some houses, but you can't. There's no way to take over the electrical and the plumbing and truly the bulk of the house. Like, it's really only automated framing. There's so much more that you can't automate yet, so it's not really that big of an issue yet, in my opinion. Demand expands. Like, if everyone is easily able to 3D print a house, there will be more demand for houses. People say, like, people will probably want vacation houses. I don't know if that's really necessary in terms of sustainability and things, but this is the idea and something they've found that as we are able to do things easily and faster and the technology gets more, I guess, like inexpensive, there's more demand. People want more. You know, think about it where like before we had sewing machines, maybe you could create a shirt, and like it would take a long time, probably like a week, you know. Then sewing machines come along, you're able to make a shirt in a day. And you know, people might have thought, well, it's going to take my job of hand sewing. Well, no, it's just going to allow you to make more shirts. And turns out fast fashion is a huge business. Not great, we won't get fully into that, but that's just an example of how there's an idea that the demand's not going anywhere. Like there was always going to be jobs that are just going to be different, and each person is going to be able to do a lot more. And we'll be able to like really pick and choose what we want to do too, I think, which is quite exciting. So I don't know. I mean, sometimes I do think about it. I'm like, man, some of these AI videos are getting pretty good. Like they're coming for my job. But I still think there's going to be like a market for people that want to watch real things that are happening. And I just don't know, will AI be able to take over video recording and editing? Maybe one day. Maybe there will be drones that are so good at shooting and identifying the shots, and they automatically go into an editor and they fully take it over. Yeah, probably one day that probably will happen. That's kind of scary. So I get it. Like sometimes I'm like, how is this going to shake out? I don't know. All I know is if I don't get ahead of it, if I don't start using it, I'm going to fall behind. Yeah, and it's also just really fun and exciting to use. So that's really all the ways I use it that I could think of. If you guys have any I haven't thought of, comment down below, because I am obsessed with finding new ways. Like if you know anything, let me know, or if you learned something that you're excited to try, comment down below, because I feel like I shared some really good stuff that I was gatekeeping. I decided to share it with you guys because you're my like most loyal people, I feel, and so I'm like, I'll tell you guys, but it's not a main channel video. I low-key don't want that many people to know just yet. Okay, hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. I know it was a little different. We'll have more guests on. I'm actually toying with the idea of Monica coming on the podcast full-time too, like us just co-hosting it. So let me know if you guys would want that, or if you just like it being solo and Monica coming on from time to time and guests coming on. Let me know. Don't forget to subscribe, rate 5 stars if you feel like you got some value out of it. And that's going to be it. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.